the shores of beautiful Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Walking in Victory with Bishop Neil C. Ellis. The powerful and prophetic ministry of Bishop Neil C. Ellis is impacting the lives of believers all around the world. His bold and forthright presentation of spiritual truths and biblical principles is sure to change your life forever. Get ready to experience a fresh approach to ministry as this anointed author and pastor teaches us how to walk in victory.
Walking in victory.
Hello and welcome to Walking in Victory. I'm Patrice Ellis and I'm so happy that you've decided to tune in to today's telecast. Now on today's program, I will share with you a portion of a sermon delivered by Bishop Ellis. This here is part 1 of the series, Tremendous God-Ordained Opportunities. The title of this series is taken from Vision 2022, and I quote, "The enemy knows that once you made it into 2022, you would have what it takes to take advantage of the tremendous God-ordained opportunities that this new year brings. 2020 and 2021 were years intended to shake our faith and break our spirits. The fact that we made it here means that something extreme in degree, in amount, and in impact that no man can touch, move, or deny has come full circle. The proper time and circumstances are in place to make that something possible. This possibility is a tremendous God-ordained opportunity." Further, Bishop Ellis explained that whenever we open the door of opportunity, there will also be opposition. But the opposition does not have the authority to deny us of the opportunity God has set in place. I invite you now to listen to this sermon carefully. Tremendous ordained opportunities.
The series is entitled Tremendous Opportunities. Tremendous Opportunities. Let me read an excerpt from 2022 Vision. The enemy knows that once you make it into 2022, you would have what it takes to take advantage of the tremendous God-ordained opportunities the new year brings. That means, first and foremost, the new year has brought with it tremendous opportunities. Tremendous. When we talk about tremendous, we're talking about something that is extreme in degree, in amount, and in impact. When we talk about God ordained, we just really talking about one thing. It's just something that's set. It's set. Man can't touch it. Something that is God ordained is set. And when we talk about opportunity, we're talking about a time or a set of circumstances that make it possible to do something, or a situation or condition favorable for the attainment of a goal. All right? So you have the vision in front of you that speaks to our theme. I'm laying the foundation for this series. And you have an explanation of what the vision says. Tremendous God-ordained opportunities. That means you have something or some things that God has already set in your life that are extreme. And the situation and conditions in your life are now favorable enough for you to attain what God has set on his agenda for your life this week. In your life and mine, this year, God does not want to do the ordinary. He plans to do the unusual, the uncommon, the unprecedented. He wants to make the words in Ephesians 3:20 real in your life. There are two things I told you I want you to hold on to. Number one, the season you are in is too significant for you to be distracted by the irrelevant. And number two, God loves you so much that he will not allow the mistakes you made in one season to cancel the opportunities in another season. I want you again to say after me, the God I serve is the God of opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, while he is the God of opportunities, he will never force an opportunity upon his people. He creates them. He puts them in place. And then they are usually waiting there in the course of life to be embraced. I need you to talk again. Repeat after me. There are opportunities in my path waiting to be embraced. I cannot procrastinate any longer. All right, I want all of these things to settle in you and in your spirit today, because God is about to speak to you. What God brought some of you through in 2021 cannot compare with what he has on his agenda for you in 2022. New opportunities, new possibilities, new breakthroughs, waiting to be embraced. I implore you not to allow this year to pass you by without embracing these tremendous God-ordained opportunities. And when God gives opportunities, he gives them for specific reasons. Life is made up of opportunities. This year, let's not allow life, nor these opportunities, to pass us by. This year, I encourage you to remove from your thoughts and from your vocabulary phrases like, it's impossible, It can't be done. I don't have what it takes. It's too risky. What if it doesn't work? What if I lose everything I have? You've got to take these phrases out of your head and out of your mouth, because you are strong, resilient, equipped, empowered, and focused. You can't live out the rest of this year with these phrases in your mouth. God did not preserve you all through the ravages of last year to have the opportunity to live in this year to talk like that or to think like that. Everybody look this way. Those phrases I just mentioned, they don't belong to you. Come on, look this way. I was talking about your neighbor, not you. You are strong. Listen, man, don't play with me today. I want you to hear that. You are strong. You are resilient. You are powerful. You are equipped. You are not giddy. You are focused. I'm talking to you. I'm talking about you. And I ain't lying. Everything I just said, you are. Bishop, if you only know my story, that's how I know you are. Because weak people would not have survived the hell you've come through in the last 20 months. Now listen, I need you today to take responsibility for yourself. Act like you're the only person in that pew. Don't take any cues from any distracted person or anybody who look like they are not on the same page as you are. So let's go. Hit yourself in your chest, only you one in that pew, and tell yourself, I'm strong. I have what I need to embrace every opportunity that comes my way. Hey, God speaks to us, speak to us in the 2022 vision. Listen to him. These are the days for which I have prepared you. Did you just hear that? You hear what God is saying in our 2022 vision? The days we in, these are the days. I don't care how dark it looks. I don't care how tight it is. I don't care how confused you are. God says, these days right here, these are the days for which I have prepared you. For I, the Lord thy God, am about to pour into you power and wisdom and insight beyond what you've ever seen. Somebody say power. Somebody say wisdom. Say insight. Say all three. God has poured into me. Say power, wisdom, insight. All three God has poured into me. All three. Power and wisdom and insight God has poured. He didn't just put on me, he poured them into me. It is hard to shake me. The winds may blow and trials may come and storms may rage. I have power, I have wisdom, I have enough insight to go around the storm. You can't shake me this year. Can I get another witness? I shall not be shaken this year. I won't waver. I won't fall by the wayside. God has poured into me power and wisdom and insight for me to hurdle above Now, be careful. Be careful. Because at times, opportunities come in the form of challenges. Be careful. Because sometimes opportunities are wrapped up in crisis. Be careful. Because sometimes opportunities are disguised in unusual circumstances. Be careful that you don't miss any of these opportunities because of how it's packaged. God has poured into you insight. You are not supposed to be mixed up. Your insight has been poured into you for clarity even when your opportunity comes in the midst of a crisis. While others are looking at the dark side of a crisis, God will show you the opportunities inside of the crisis. It's insight. Everybody say insight. I have it. Say insight. God poured it into me. That allows me, say that, to see opportunities that other people can't see. Oftentimes, when an opportunity comes knocking at the door, when you open the door, you see opportunity and opposition. Opportunity hardly ever comes alone. If you wait a minute, anytime opportunity knocks at the door and you open up the door, you don't just see opportunity. Right alongside of opportunity is opposition. Brothers and sisters, family members, what invention do you have buried in your mind? What idea? What formula? What cure? What skill do you have locked up on the inside of you that the world needs to be exposed to? And then I heard the Lord saying something to me at 4:45 this morning. He started to speak to me and it made me late for service. He said, "So Sidney Poitier is gone, eh?" I started to pray for his soul and for his family, and he said, "Stop praying. That ain't what I said that to you for. I didn't say that to you to pray. What I'm saying to you is, I do not want the world to be without Sidney Poitiers out of the country from which he's come." Now, if that's the case, he's talking world class. He's talking about being on the world stage. You're talking about a young man who at 15 still couldn't read. Fate would have it that as a dishwasher in a restaurant, he came across a white man who asked him, what's the news in the newspapers today? And he said, "I'm sorry, I can't tell you, I can't read." And that white man decided to teach this black boy how to read. He went on in another man's country to make history. He paved the way for black Hollywood. Y'all ain't listening. God says, I do not want the world to be without Sidney Poitier. His time has come and gone. He's done what he's been assigned to do. God said, now he's off the stage. Next! Who am I talking to in this sanctuary or in the fiber sanctuary? Next! Who will step out in faith without all the answers and without all the issues solved and say, I have a plan? And if God be for me, who can be against me? I'm looking for that person who realizes that the country where you live is only your base. It is not your stage. Whatever you're thinking about for next, whatever it is you're imagining, whatever it is you're planning for next, the word of the Lord to you is too small. If you're in the midst of getting ready to build something and you've drawn some plans, I know you've spent some money, but tear them up. Tear them up. By the time you finish building that, it'll be no use to you because it's too small. Whatever it is you're thinking, stop. Start over. Because right then, a minute ago, your thoughts were too small. God says, tell these people, stop asking me for things that they can accomplish themselves. God said, don't ask me for a car. Get a loan. Don't ask me for a house. Get a mortgage. He said, tell them, start asking me for stuff that if they tell people what they ask me for, people will laugh at them. A car thought is too small. Well, Bishop, that's where I am. That's your problem. You're trying to live your life based on where you are. And God says he wants you to live your life based on where you want him to take you. He's bigger than a car blessing, larger than a house blessing. Stop just asking God to pay your bills. That's it. No, what you want to ask God is, give me an opportunity so after I have paid my bills, I can bless some others. Man, ain't nobody saying nothing. I don't know. I know it's only you one in your pew, but I want you to have a party for 2 seconds by yourself because God is waiting for you to put him to the test in your life. I know you want to be specific for a minute in the scripture. Look at what he says now. I have set before you an open door. Watch this now. You can't see behind it. You are only guessing, imagining, hoping is what you need. But God says, I took care of that for you. I've set in front of you an open door. Watch this now. He says, because I put it in front of you, nobody can move it. Watch this. And he says, Anna, because I open it, nobody could shut it. Okay. I'm trying to find an appropriate place to close. Find an appropriate place to close. He says now, He says, I want to make sure everybody understand what I'm saying. I'll say this and I'll pick it up next week. He says, watch this now. With the door closed, I could only do this. And sometimes the circumference for which I must travel is expansive. It could take me days to have to walk around the barriers to get out here. But he says, what I've done this time is open up the door. What God is doing in 2022 is giving you quick access.
My friends, what an impactful and significant message. God has indeed spoken with power through this dynamic sermon. And I encourage believers to dream big and embrace every tremendous God-ordained opportunity. Until next time, I'm Patrice Ellis, and on behalf of my husband, Bishop Neil Ellis, and the entire Walking in Victory team, thank you so much for joining us today, and I invite you to join us again next week, right here at the same time. And so, until then, yes, I need you to remember that you have been anointed to walk in victory.
Troubles can make it seem like you can't reach your dreams, but know that you've been made free and you're walking in victory.
Bishop Neil C. Ellis and the Mount Tabor Church family in Nassau, Bahamas wish to thank you for viewing the Walking in Victory broadcast and invite you to tune in next week to experience this powerful prophetic ministry. Should you wish to correspond with Bishop Ellis, please write him at P.O. Box N9705, Nassau, Bahamas, or email him at info@neilellisministries.com.
Walking in victory.